Alright, Van Richten's Guide to Ravenloft just arrived. Good old UPS just delivered it there. So notice the cover right here. You've probably seen this already, but there's your classic vampire-like setting and characters. Looks like gypsies and all sorts of things. So what you would expect. And there's the back. Look at the castle right here and so on. So great art as always. And look on the content right here. So let's see what's going on inside this one. Character creation. I'll tell you, when I just browse over this, it sort of gives me the feeling of like Tasha's Cauldron. Very similar to that book. Not as much of an expansion on the characters and the races and things such as that and all. But it looks like it's going to be an expansion book similar to Tasha's, but of course with the Ravenloft type setting. Everything's dark, horror themed. You get it right there. So look at character creation. It looks like about the first 35 or so pages. So they mention haunted heroes, lineages, how to create your character. And look at this. Dampier, Hex Bloods, and Reborn. Looks like some new classes or something here you can play. They've got mention of dark gifts. Look here, subclasses, the Bard College of Spirits. I've heard them mention this before. Warlock the Undead. That should be a fun one right there. And then all sorts of backgrounds. So chapter 2 is about creating domains of dread, genres of horror, dark, folk, ghost, gothic. So I guess they're going to show you how to create your own setting that's like Ravenloft. And here's domains of Ravenloft. Mentions the mist. If you've ever seen played through that one, you know of the mist and such that surround these areas. Life in the domains, and looks like a whole lot of stuff. They got characters and places, just tons of information. Looks like that's over half the book right there, more than that. And then they mention, I guess here, how to run a horror adventure. So they give you some ideas right there. So that ought to be interesting. And of course, new monsters. Everybody always likes new monsters. So looks like they got what, maybe about 25 or so, something like that. So there's what you have under the content section. So there they give you a little intro, welcome to Ravenloft. Looks like some almost spirit-like vampires in the background. There's your classic gypsy. You can always tell by the way they're dressed. Got a lantern. It seems like they always love to use rapiers. It seems like a favorite weapon of theirs. So they talk about using the book right here, chapter 1. Again, we just looked over this right here, creating characters in this one here. Explorers in chapter 2, how dungeon masters create their own domains. Chapter 3, new Ravenloft domains. Chapter 4, other tools for the dungeon master. And of course there's some new creatures towards the end. So there's just some more little intro material right there. Looks like they got what are supposedly some little letters here and there. Seven Secrets of Ravenloft. So it looks like they're going to expand out on that. Land of the Mist, some kind of creepy creature right down here. They mentioned Dark Powers. Looks like another little letter from someone right here. And here's domains. They're going to go over all these, and we'll cover all these in future videos in a lot more detail. Just give you an idea of first impressions of the book right there. So they mention a lot on Dark Lords right here in this little section. The adventures. They talk about Mist Wanderers, roused locals and such. Looks like Dr. Rudolph Van Richten wrote this letter right here. Looks like a werewolf's about to jump on someone. Artwork, good as always. And there we go, character creation. Now this is probably why most people are going to want this book right here. Anytime you got new character classes, expansions, whatever, that's always some of the big stuff. People are always looking for a new way to get into the game in different ways and find new ways to play and alter things they've done before. So it looks like this is how they're going to break it down right here. And there's your character creation, chapter 1. Know your fears and habits. What they got right here? Vampires bite and such. Looks like somebody bit that guy right there. He looks like he's half-orc in appearance to start with. So there's a little section here on lineages. Looks like they're going to cover ability score increases right down here. Languages, creature types. Look at this, all sorts of creature types mentioned down in here. And then they got something up here called a dampier. I guess this damper is one of the new little races or whatever that you can play. Poised between the worlds of the living and the dead, dampers retain their grip on life, yet are endlessly tested by vicious hungers. Their ties to the undead grant dampers a taste of a vampire's deathless prowess in the form of increased speed, dark vision, and a life-draining bite. So I guess you pretty much get to play a vampire-like character. That ought to be a lot of fun. So look at this. They still have hungers, blood, flesh, cerebrospinal fluid, and so on down the line. So look at this. You can roll for origins, or maybe just pick one right there. There's a little more information down there at the bottom. How about the artwork up here as always? So here's the traits. Look at that. Humanoid, the size, medium or small. A little bit of an increase in speed. They mention Ancestral Legacy right here. If you replace a race with this lineage, you can keep the following elements. So they give you this information. There's the dark vision. Look at this. They don't need to breathe, so I guess they are undead, at least to a certain extent. Spider climb. How handy could those things be? Look at this vampiric bite. Regain hit points equal to the piercing damage dealt by the bite. Anytime you get a way to replace your hit points, that's always incredible. So you can do damage and heal yourself at the same time. That's going to be a favorite use. So here they have the Hex Blood right here. Hex Bloods are infused with Eldritch magic. Looks like they're the heir of hags, so they're probably tied to the hags in different ways right here. So here's the different origins. Seeking a child. Looks like Fae kidnappers, a coven of hags, and so on down the line. So there they mention some of the information you'd expect to see. Creature type and size, just as we had in the last one right there. Show you the picture up here. Look at the different colors. All right, it's got to be something to that. Maybe the type of magic they use determines their appearance. So there's the speed. There's the legacy. They got dark vision. Of course, that's always popular with any new race type or whatever they want to call it. A telepathic message within 10 miles. Remote viewing. And they have hex magic. Look, it's becoming a hag. How about if you could actually play a hag as one of your races, so to speak, in the game? The reborn. Death isn't always the end. So here's a new group right here. We've sort of got a vampire group, a hag group, and then the reborn right here. Let's see. These individuals who have died somehow still live. So look at the reborn origins right here. They give you different options up here. You were magically resurrected, but something went wrong. So it looks like they give you some good, interesting ideas. You have a lot of lost memories maybe right here. And look at this individual, very pale in appearance. So what have they got in here? Reborn. In the domains of dread traits, there's your size. Again, the standard 30 feet's pretty common, except for the vampire type. They're a little faster. Deathless natureless. You have advantage on saving throws against disease and being poisoned. Advantage on death saving throws. That can be nice. Don't need to eat, drink, or breathe. Don't need to sleep. So a lot of little handy things coming in with each one of these. So dark gifts, another little section right here. Go into bargains. Looks like with the Dark Lord or something such as that. Dark gift descriptions. So there's something you can read over later. Some more artwork up in here. It's not a very nice looking area there. Gathered whispers, intrusive echoes, all sorts of new ideas here. So looks like, look at this living shadow. The shadow you cast is inanimate, never present, even when lighting conditions would otherwise prevent it. Looks like you can maybe have a shadow at your command right there or something. A shadow quirk list goes along with it. A mist walker. The mist grip all who tread but know how to slip through their grasp. You can navigate the mist successfully, so that gives you an advantage, I guess, in these domains right here. So look at that. You get Misty Step. There's Mist Traveler, Poison Roots, something here called Second Skin, and so on down the line. Not sure. Well, look at that. You can cast Alter Self on a form right there. Symbiotic beings, so I guess you coexist with something here. An alien appendage inside an unhealing wound, a burrowing worm-like being. So lots of possibilities there. This worm-like being sounds like the Illithid, the mind flayers and such. Somebody could probably connect them to that in one way if the DM would allow it. So there's all sorts of other information. There's subclass option. There's the Bard College of Spirits. Heard about this one for a while. Looks like at 3rd level they can pick up a guidance cantrip right here. Use the following objects like crystal balls, Tales from Beyond, to be the target of a Tales effect. Not sure what that's all about, but there's some options right there they give you. What is this at 6th level with this College Spirit Session? Choose the spell you choose to be of a level equal, like you get to pick some new spells there. Level 14, you take on the rogue, you roll the die. roll twice the number, so on down the line there. Here's the new Warlock, the Undead. So if you like the Warlock, this will expand it out right here. There's a new spell list as always. Looks like a good list right here to choose from. Form of Undead. As a bonus action, you transform for 1 minute. Gain temporary hit points. When you hit a creature, you can force it to make a wisdom saving throw or it'd be frightened. You're immune to the frightened condition. Grave Touch, so obviously everything here is tied to the undead. You replace the damage type with necrotic. Got a lot to read and go over. Necrotic Husk at level 10, you have resistance to necrotic damage. Looks like you become immune later. 14th level, your spirit can become untethered as an action. Project your spirit from your body. While doing this, resistance to a lot of different damages. You can cast a spell, have a flying speed, and so on down the line. So, looks like an interesting new subclass right there. And there they've got all sorts of other horror information. Look at this horror character, bonds, flaws, the haunted one. Looks like the investigator is a different little role you can take on right here. Had to see what that's all about. And then some trinkets right here at the end and so on down the line. So that just gives you some basic information on what you'll find in the book right here. And again, the content section breaks it down for you pretty well. Character creation is going to be very big. New monsters is always a fun section there. So hopefully you've already got your book. If not, and you're wondering whether you need it or not, that ought to give you an idea of what's in it. Hope this helped you out. Till next time, good luck and good gaming.